So I've been spending a lot of time in Odin's study, and I think I figured out where the next game is headed. But before we can talk about it, we need to understand one important thing. How did Kratos end up in the Norse world?
You fool! What have you done? No! That was meant for me! They will not know what to do with it!
At the end of God of War 3, everything was destroyed. Kratos ended up giving the power of hope to the people instead of Athena and then disappeared. The next thing we know, he ends up in Midgard with a family. This is what Cory Barlog had to say about different worlds and different gods existing.
But what I would talk about was the idea that all the mythologies of the world are kind of like this Hubble telescope image. They are like galaxies individually spread out throughout a complete universe. And the world is the universe. And all the mythologies are sort of origin stories of various cultures throughout the world, beginning at the beginning of time and stretching all the way out. So at any given time, all the mythologies exist together concurrently, and they are simply separated by geography. So it's important because some people had the conception that, hey, Kratos at the end of God of War 3 destroyed the world. Well, he destroyed what they believed the world was in Greece, which was their world. Everybody believed their world was the only world. In fact, we still believe that today.
And this is what Freya told Kratos.
I know you're a god. Not of this realm, but there's no mistaking it.
Now I've seen those videos in which people explain of how Kratos reached the Norse realm, and many of them reference the novel by Cory's father, where Kratos was encountered by a hooded figure and 3 large wolves. One of those wolves dragged Kratos by the leg, and many theorize that this is how he ended up in Midgard. But I've got some issues with this theory. I do believe that this is what happened. However, these wolves exist in the Norse realm, and so far the only other person we know of who has visited realms outside of the Norse ones is Tyr. This is what Mimir had to say about it.
Well, this is most unexpected.
Why? What does it mean?
I haven't the foggiest. Isn't that unexpected? Good. Look, clearly that's Tyr. Traveling somehow. Perhaps magically. But what's that to do with the giants that they should devote a shrine to it? I'm afraid that is none too clear.
So even Mimir doesn't know how Tyr did it, except that he had help from the giants. But Kratos traveled somehow without any magic, or at least not that we know of. Now Odin wants to do the same, and he did trap Tyr, but he never got his answers from him. So he began his own research for traveling to other worlds. Despite knowing that Ragnarok is upon him, Odin is still focused on the realm Tyr and wants Atreus to find the remaining parts of the mask. He is preparing for Ragnarok, but his main focus is the Tyr, for he believes that beyond it lies the knowledge of creation. He mentioned seeing someone else on the other side, who told him things he knew to be true. We were never told what those things were and who that person was, but this began Odin's obsession with the Tyr. He claims that only the champion of the Jotnar can look into the Tyr. That is why even at the very end, when all of Asgard is being destroyed, he still encourages Atreus to look into the Tyr and seek out answers.
This is your moment, Loki. Groa tried to hide you from me, but this is your destiny. Champion of the Jotnar. Only he can put on the mask. Only he can gaze into the truth of creation. Unfold the secrets of life and death. No more doubt, no more confusion. You were born for this. Put on the mask, Loki.
I don't know if this is really true or not, because even if Odin is telling the truth, he might be lying. But I do believe that Atreus is special because he is born of 2 different worlds, the Greek and the Norse. But even when Odin was defeated, all he wanted to know was what was beyond the Tyr.
No! 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 Why did you do that? What was it all for? You choose to be nothing!
So why this obsession? He has got Atreus searching for the other parts of the mask, but he himself is looking at something really important. something about realm travel. And I don't mean the 9 realms that he can already travel between. Odin explains this in his own words.
In the wake of Ymir's death, I saw something, the rift, possibly the birthplace of reality. I looked inside and something was there looking back at me. It whispered to me things I couldn't possibly comprehend, but I knew they were true. When it blinded me, I thought it was over, that I'd never see inside again. And then I found this. And I knew that it would finally let me see the answers. You see, son, I don't know where I go when I go. There's no Valhalla for me. Ragnarok cannot be the end. I need to know there's something more than this. I need to know what happens to me. And that's the truth, I swear, on my last good eye.
He needs to know, where does he go after he dies? There is no Valhalla for him. Could it be the higher plane of existence where Athena ended up? But in Athena's case, it was her selfless sacrifice, whereas Odin would sacrifice anyone to get his way.
My sacrifice to save Zeus has brought me to a higher existence.
You still appear to be an Olympian.
Appearances can be deceiving, Kratos.
Let's assume the rift leads to the higher plane, but Odin doesn't know that, so he's researching realm travel on his own and with Atreus' help, collecting the parts of the mysterious mask. If you look at his table, you'll see 2 books and a binder of sorts. On the books is the Norse compass called Vegvisir. It is meant to prevent the person carrying it from losing their way. If you look at them closely, you can see that there are runes on these books. After translating, this is what one of them reads. Only the traveler, true on feet held firm, 2 realms may proceed, lest madness befall. The other book says something similar, but I can't really make it out. Now the words may be in a different order, but it is clear that Odin is studying about realm travel outside his 9 realms. And you can't just travel to another world without consequences, otherwise everyone would be doing so, lest madness befall. Perhaps Odin wishes to travel to other worlds and possibly to the same one behind the tier, and needs the mask to do so, as he believes it contains all the answers. If you zoom into his binder, which he carries with himself everywhere, you'll see the 9 realms on the Yggdrasil tree, but another similar circle to the left. Could this be the means to travel to other realms? Now comes the question, what will be the story of the next God of War game? When the 2018 game ended, we got to know about the next one, Ragnarok, and Thor's arrival made it clear as to what's next for Kratos and Atreus. But unfortunately, despite the developer claiming that they've wrapped up the story, Ragnarok's ending left a lot of stuff still unanswered. I've seen those theories about Egyptian gods and even this one, but honestly, I feel like we first need to know how to travel to these other worlds. Plus, there's a lot of baggage still left. When I finished the game, I didn't feel like it was complete. Where did Atreus go to find the remaining giants? What happened with Sindri? What of Asgard after Odin? Now that Ragnarok is over, what's next for the 9 realms? And then of course there is a mural where Kratos was being worshipped. Kratos can't just leave his son and everything behind and move on to the next pantheon. All of these questions need to be answered either via a DLC or an expansion like The Witcher 3 Blood and Wine. Tyr, who is now free, is the only other god apart from Kratos who has traveled to other realms outside of the Norse world. Kratos and Tyr probably need to talk about realm travel. So don't tell me something like this is going to be left out while Kratos ends up in the world of Egypt. I could be wrong here, and we could get a time jump like the 2018 game where we get answers somewhere along the way. But you know what would be really exciting? Kratos going back to his own world for a brief visit. That would be so nostalgic and totally awesome. Let me know your thoughts on this matter. How do you think Kratos reached the Norse world? Like me, did you feel like the story wasn't fully complete? What do you think the next game will focus on? Subscribe, share your thoughts in the comments below, and be sure to check out my other videos like my step-by-step guides on how to take down Gana and Kraki. I hope you and your loved ones have a wonderful 2023. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.